This is the Nighthawk Tree Farm. It's located southeast of Quilcene, about 13 miles. Quilcene's in Jefferson County. This is 18.65 acres of certified tree farm. Bought it in December of 1992. Marilyn and I were both 40 years old at the time. I had been a dirt forester for most of my career, but as this happens in a lot of different careers, you start getting away from the field that you like to be in, and we thought it was time for us to maybe buy our own piece of timberland.
When we first looked at this property, and we were way down at the other end, looking across this, what to me was a vast field of brush, and Stephen was getting really excited about it, and I just looked at it and said, "Seriously? You want to buy this piece?" And he said, "Oh yeah, we can turn this into a real forest. I promise." And I thought, he is so excited. Okay. So we did. We bought it, and we spent several years planting what I figured out later was about 6,000 trees.
And when this tree farm when we first acquired it, there was so much cut over land, there was a lot of insects flying over and around this property. The nighthawks were here constantly calling out, and they have a very peculiar, distinctive sound that just caught our attention, and that's why we named it Nighthawk Tree Farm. We have the full spectrum of Pacific Northwest, particularly Washington native species. The dominant species here on the tree farm is Douglas fir. There is, again, because portions of this tree farm was logged before we acquired it, there's a fair amount of alder on it. There's western white pine, western red cedar, western hemlock, and then I brought in a fair number of different species from further beyond. We've got Sitka spruce that grows along the edges of the wetlands that we planted, lodgepole pine, that sort of thing. We have the full spectrum of tree species here, and a fair amount of the hardwood species too. There's birch, paper birch down by some of the wetlands as well. This property is on a flat ridge top, but it has a fair number of wetlands on it. They constitute only a small proportion of the total property, but they're significant because there's a lot of edge associated with them. We only have actually about 100 feet of live stream anywhere on this entire property.
It's one of my favorite parts of this property is just the diversity that we have here on even such a small property as this. There's a tremendous amount of habitat diversity and a tremendous amount of wildlife diversity as a result. Black-tailed deer, certainly, coyotes, bobcats, mountain lions. We've documented several mountain lions on the property. Migratory songbirds of all sorts, wetland-dependent species as well as species that are associated with forested conditions.
So we've had this property since I was about 9 or 10 years old. And so a lot of my core childhood memories were actually built here on the tree farm. We've had the annual Rhododendron Festival, which we lovingly call the Rhody Festival, here with our extended family every year since I was about 10 years old, where our extended family gathers, we camp, we use the meadow to play baseball, tag. My cousin, who is my childhood best friend, and I used to hike around the property and build camps in the trees. And so it's been a place that we really used to recreate as a family my entire life.
Well, I really like this wildflower meadow, just because I love to watch the different flowers bloom as the season progresses. And I like the little tough shed / cottage we put in up there. It has a bed in it and a table, and you can camp there and be out of the whatever rain or whatever.
So my hope, barring some sort of financial catastrophe with myself or my sister, is that we're able to maintain this as a healthy forest and wetland landscape in perpetuity. I think that that'll become increasingly important as we see more home sites developed.
We want to maintain this land in a growing forest land condition with all of the different biodiversity that exists here, and our kids are committed to that.